What's up, guys, and welcome back. My name is Jake Towell, and this is my art series where I share with you guys some art pieces throughout my art career. If you haven't seen the last couple of episodes, go watch those because I am covering the illustrations in my book, Robot, the Interdimensional Robber. You can see that on screen. And today, and every time I say it, it's a very special piece, but this is one of my favorite pieces I've created of all time, as well as my favorite I Spy illustration in my I Spy book. Out of all 6 drawings, this is by far my favorite. I love the colors, I love the composition, and I love the items in it, and I hope you guys do too. So without further ado, I present to you a cosmic disturbance. Again, at any point, if you're sold on this book, link in the description down below. You can get my book on Amazon. It's super cool, fun for all ages. I'm putting on screen this page in the I Spy book. I really love how the colors and everything turned out on the page, as well as those really cool artifacts that I'll also talk about. Without further ado, let's get right into the sketch phase. I just absolutely love this piece so much that even the sketch phase just looks so cool. Everything was really spaced out nicely in this piece. I remember this flowing very well. Last video, the I Spy page before this, I feel like it was a very rushed piece. I love how it turned out, but you can definitely tell it was very sporadic, something that was really hard to articulate at the time. And this one was really a laid back composition that just flowed really nicely. I remember it being something that I was really excited to make and one that I would just make on my own for fun. And the sketch phase, I think, really shows that. Overall, the sketch, really well done. I really like how it turned out. So let's get right into the line work phase. Okay, again, just super solid placement of objects in here. Everything just fits so well. Very to little to no tangents at all in this piece. Everything just fits, and I just love how it's laid out. I guess I hadn't explained this already. You know, if you've seen the last episodes, every piece is a specific place and time and space where we're stealing artifacts, and this was kind of like my fun page. So if you've ever seen in comics or in books, there's always one page that's always like or episodes in your favorite show, there's always one episode that is very against the grain of how the episodes usually lay out, but they're really fun and laid back episodes. This was my fun and laid back page in my book, and because of that, there's a lot of artifacts in here that are super funny. But what I was getting at is this is actually the moon. So the artifacts you're trying to look and find are artifacts that are historically space related, and one of which I'll get into in the fully rendered image, so make sure you stick around for a couple more minutes where I explain the specifics of this piece. There's a couple artifacts in here that I really love and I think are super funny. I hope if you guys are gamers, you'll like it too. But again, the line work phase, super clean. Nothing more I can say about it, really. I'm really amped to talk about this one. Let's get into the fully rendered image. A cosmic disturbance. Look at those beautiful colors. So many really cool artifacts in there, and I'm really just super excited to talk about it. You know, it's not an extremely filled image in comparison to a lot of art that I make. It's just got so much good stuff in it. And I think the first thing I want to talk about is this zombies ray gun is an artifact that, spoiler alert, I have you seek and find in my illustration book. Here it is. It's super well stylized. I wanted to choose a ray gun to show space just because it's alien-like, right? Obviously. Like I said, it's a part of the really fun Easter eggs in it. Ray gun is being held with some blue hands that are coming out of this spaceship that's a giant butt cheek. And I think that is so funny. It's like shooting a laser at this star. It's ricocheting off the star and going through this butt cheek. You can see there's another laser there, but we can talk about that in a bit. Just between this ray gun and this butt cheek ship, I think this part of the composition is hilarious and definitely my favorite part of this piece. But the piece in whole is just so awesome. I really love how this turned out. But let's talk more about the butt cheek ship. So we got a couple hands coming out the butt cheek ship. It's kind of like a hard thing to say 3 times fast, but we have another blue hand coming out of it, and it's holding this string, which is pretty cool. And this is actually a super far callback to an illustration I did in middle school where I'm a little astronaut hanging off a deer's antlers. You can see that I have this, and again, we'll get to this part of the piece in a little bit, but you can see it's holding onto this string and has a little dude hanging off it, and that is definitely like a callback to that piece. But anyways, a lot of stuff going on with this butt See, there it is. Butt cheek ship. We got another mouth on the side. Of course, it's alive. Of course, it's illustrated with the mouth. That's what I do. Coming out the bottom are these thrusters. And this is where we see, again, there's a cloud in every composition in my I Spy book. And here we have a really, really cool, vibrant blue smoke monster cloud. And you can see he's also got a dude coming out of his eye there, a little astronaut, another eyeball coming up through there. And you can see he's got his monster mouth as well. But I think overall, that blue really brings it all together. Like the colors in this are super, super beautiful and really make it really, really visually cool and pleasing. And I think that blue smoke was something that, the blue thruster smoke is something that really helped out overall with this composition. I guess we can move to the left here. We have, you know, that star that's being shot by the ray gun. We have a couple planets here, which is pretty cool. Let's talk about this really cool like star. So we start out this really tiny star and it's projecting through space. We have this star and this star is attached to this one with a vein, and the vein follows up through that star into the mega star, which is kind of like this three-dimensional shape that's reflecting this ray gun shot into the butt cheek. And that's just honestly like a really cool, stylized, something you've definitely never seen articulated in space, is like this fleshy star monster thing. And kind of like what I said when we get to before, is this like little rocket ship. Of course, you need a rocket ship in space, and that's kind of housing that astronaut there that we see going into the butt cheeks. It's just honestly like a really sharp and cool looking spaceship. I like the colors, the dark grayish blue with the orange, and those really sharp rocket fins look really, really cool as well, and just fits the space really, really nicely visually, and is very comparable to a lot of the tech and colors in the piece as well. Now let's talk about my second favorite part of this piece, this like monster moon. If you've seen my logo, it's very similar to this, as this is a major callback to Hook Chomp City. I drew these like moon-like guys in the middle of the composition, and this was a callback to that, as it was something that I really, really loved as a design. And overall, like, it just looks like a planet, right? It just looks like a moon, and there's a lot of really cool things going on with this one. We have teeth obviously going through itself, and here is the second artifact. This is the skull of the dog who went to space first, and that's one of the artifacts, as well as this ray gun, which is just super funny and really cool. And he's coming out of this crater of this moon-shaped monster. Another thing that's really cool is hooking onto this moon is like this side moon, or maybe that's the moon and this is the planet. This little hanging space planet guy, and he's got his tongue hanging down there. We got another space guy coming out of this space place right here. And what's really cool about this guy, obviously he has a mouth, he has a tongue, but coming out of his like eye socket are these wires that connect to this ray gun that's coming out of this space planet, and it's shooting that ray gun, bouncing off another artifact up and through, and again through the space butt cheek ship. And that's just super funny visually. There's so many things going on with this piece, and I just love it. But this ray gun coming out of this space monster planet ship guy is really cool, and I think his little planet companion having the wires connected to this mechanism is also just such a really cool thing that ties it all together visually and just looks super, super sick. I guess moving down, so we have these like satellites here. You know, again, we have this little astronaut hanging off the satellite, and this is the moon itself at the bottom of the composition. You can kind of see the horizon line there going around. We got another one of those satellite pieces there. But before we get to that, I want to talk about the third planet on this piece. It's like a double ringed Saturn, and again, such a beautiful color that brings this whole piece together really, really nicely. And those Saturn rings are intertwining and going around and through him, which is really, really cool, and through objects that are lower on the composition as well. He's got an eyeball going up, wrapping around the ring, through this fleshy star guy, up and through the butt cheek ship, which is also really, really visually cool. I love this Saturn double ring guy. When I was a kid, I drew a lot of planets as well, and I love drawing double rings on like planets, just because the Saturn is just such a cool planet. We have another small like little planets here in the background, just filling those compositions, and honestly making it visually very, very pleasing with that colored line work that I just really, really love. All right, let's get down to the moon. We have this really cool, and I think this is where I started, this really cool like moon monster skull thing, and he's got this like dome, like this glass dome covering his brain, and it's housing another artifact, which is like a moon egg of some sort. Again, this was a really fun page. I wasn't taking it too seriously, really choosing like specific historical artifacts, and really made it a fun composition and piece. But that's what's in his head right there. We got his brain coming up right there. He's sitting in a crater. This crater has like a mouth too, which is pretty cool. You can see his tongue and mouth hanging down there, but it's being stabbed through it. It's like this thermostat, like this Martian built-in alien thermostat thing, or like a voice box, and it's going up and through and holding other artifact that I articulated here, and it has just this another alien ringed. I mean, this is just alien as alien gets right here. Again, just like, space, aliens, travel, planets. So it's meant to be crazy, it's meant to be hectic, but it all falls in the theme of space, and I think this part of the composition is another part that I just really enjoy. Overall, I just can't stop looking at this piece because I just absolutely love it, and I think it's just a great successful page in my book. We have some other craters here. They're all tied. We have this like ring here, this like chain connecting all these pieces together from small, medium again to large here, and it's got a mouth, some eyeballs popping out this middle rock, which is really cool, and just a little stone there. And now for the last piece, we have this like moon rover device, which is pretty cool. We got his wheels there, and he's like extracting blood from this Saturn's tongue. You can see the tongue hanging out. He's got his little grabbers grabbing the tongue. His probe is extracting the blood into this little funnel, which is pretty cool. We got more of those electrical wires going into this fleshy part of his body, up and around. We have some like jetpack boosters. Saturn's fighting back with the ring on this droid or drone's head, and he's also grabbing this satellite dish. But overall, that is a cosmic disturbance. I really, really love this piece, and it's such a successful piece in my book, I Spy the Dimensional Robber. Again, if you want to get my book, link in the description down below to my link tree. You can get my book there. If you want a printout of this piece, also linked below. Honestly, the printout of this piece looks really, really cool. I love this piece so much. I have it hanging up. So if you want a printout of that, link in the description below. If you want my book, also linked in the description below. If you like this video, leave a like, leave a comment down below what your favorite part of this piece or something that in this piece that I didn't talk about that you really like. And if you like my art, like these videos, consider subscribing. I don't post as much as I would like to because I post a lot on my gaming channel. But again, this is such a great part of my art career, and we're getting to the really, really good stuff. So again, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.